It's not over.
That's James from Heaviest Movies. We're joining the studio with Riz. Good to have you back, man.
Hey, good day, Matty. What's going on, man?
Not much, dude, not much. And first time on the radio, we've got our good friend, Mr. Sean. What's happening, dude?
Hey, man, how are you?
Just come a bit closer to the mic, dude.
Sorry.
It's good. Few different topics tonight. We'll get to your car history and we'll learn a bit about what cars you like. First, cab off the rank, though. Did you hear VW's announcement today?
No, what happened?
What happened? Yeah.
VW has announced that the GTI will no longer have a manual gearbox.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah.
So essentially, the hot hatch, I guess the original hot hatch is now no longer a fun hot hatch. If that makes sense. I was watching. I was scrolling on it on FB, and basically I saw Paul Marek is like. Has this officially made VW boring? And then a comment was like, VW's already been boring, so that didn't matter. But the fact that they're getting rid of it, and it's just having the performance pack only, so they're not having like the base model GDI. There's just DSG performance pack with the 180 odd kilowatt engine, comes with the Golf R brakes, all the extra goodies. I mean, 80% of the sales, I believe, from what I read, were DSGs anyway.
Yeah.
Especially in Australia, but the fact of the matter is it's a GDI, and that is the big kick in the nuts for us car enthusiasts.
Yeah, I mean, like, the big thing now is that, geez, you guys must think I'm sponsored by Hyundai or something. But i30N, that's sad.
Dude, well, I want to make you a T-shirt. Well, the i30N is
exactly. Well, the i30N.
It's a cool car, though.
Yeah, so anyway, look, I think it's sad. It's sad that manual gearboxes. But then what I don't understand about all of this is what's happening in the States. I mean, not States, sorry, UK and Europe. Like, there's enthusiasts out there. I think in UK, 40% of the cars sold are automatics and 60% are manuals. So what's happening out there then? People are not buying them in manual configuration? I mean, the gearbox, they could retain the same one and still make, quite a few of those cars for the European market and the rest of the world. Why is it that they're gonna completely go with DSGs? Like, anyway.
Yeah, it's a bit of an annoyance, I think, personally.
So were the Golf R's always sold with just a DSG?
No, you can get a Golf R in manual.
So they're still going to make manual boxes for that kind of
that platform,
that platform of car, and they're just not going to make it available
on GDI.
On a GDI, that just sounds dumb.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if they're getting rid of the DSG on the manual, because my friend just bought. Well, sorry, my brother's friend from high school recently bought a Golf R, and being a manual enthusiast, he spec'd it with the manual only. He's like, none of that DSG BS. I'm having that in a manual, so he bought it in a manual. Obviously got it tuned. It's not as quick as his brother's got a DSG one, and that's got that APR tune and all. Really, like they're fast cars. They're like 2.9 seconds to 100 and that. But he went with the manual because he enjoys that third. The manly pedal, as they say, in Richard, I was referring to Richard Hammond, but bit of a weird one. I get why, like I get that they don't sell as many manual GDIs, but in the same token, it's like the original hot hatch, and it's
fair point. Yeah,
kind of a sign of the times. So yeah, just thought I'd start the show with that. A bit of news out of VW. If ever they'll kind of let the enthusiasts down, this is another one of them. So,
well, my brother's Golf 7.5 in manual is going to be worth a lot of money in the future. Then.
It's a classic already. Tell him to keep a hold of it. But yeah, no, really, disappointing. I think it's disappointing.
It is.
It's just because we're car enthusiasts.
Yeah,
and
like manual would be better, but like,
I mean, I get the DSG; they're quicker and everything, but
yeah.
It's not the same thing. It's not as engaging.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I think that's why that was the whole point of with the original GDI. That's what made the original GDI such a great car. It's because it was so engaging and fun and peppy, and you could ring it out through the gears and stuff. Whereas in an automatic, it's not.
But what's that saying about the buyers, though? Is that saying that a lot of the younger buyers can't drive a manual anymore,
or they're all just about tuning their cars and doing DSG fast on the freeway? And it's true. That's all they're doing.
APR.
Come find me. We're at the station today.
Come at us, APR. Come at us. No, I think it's those two reasons, but I also think that the fact that manual transmissions aren't as quick, and people like numbers, simple as that, and oh, my car's 0.2 of a second faster than your car. It's a bit for that reason. It's better. People. Riz is looking at me like, "Are you kidding me?" This is people's mentality. Riz.
No, but
like,
that's right.
This is what they think.
I was thinking about something else, but that's all right. I was thinking about people talk about numbers, guys compare numbers.
But you can make
you went there. I didn't go there.
I was talking about the power and torque, and what happens when you listen to Eurobeat.
Yes,
You can make cars faster though, like any car faster. So
I mean, you can, but again, people like just saying, "Oh, my car's 5.1 seconds, where your car's 5.2."
yeah, fair enough.
My car's better.
Yeah,
Realistically, in the real world, you're 9 times out of 10, you're never going to get that number anyway.
yeah.
It's that's accounting for perfect conditions, accounting for a whole bunch of other variables. It's So what one manual? I mean, when I did my driving test. Geez, they're coming up to. I'm going to show my age now. 8 years ago. And I called up the instructor just to get a couple of tests, but just a couple of jobs before my test. He's like, auto manual, and I'm like, oh, manual. He's like, oh, that's great. He's like, actually, considering not many people do manual anymore, the test is kind of respected a little bit more that you're going that extra bit of distance. And I'm like, yeah, but it shouldn't be the case. Like this brings me onto the point where when you get onto your open license, you get your manual license anyway. Which is kind of pointless,
but it's only in Victoria though.
Yeah, like in other states, it's not like
definitely
that.
in Queensland. It's not like that. So I got my automatic license here. When I moved up there, in Victoria you need to keep it for 4 years.
4 years, yeah.
Up there's 3 years. So by the time I got there, I was like 21 or whatever, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll change it over." But on the conditions, they said it must be an automatic.
Oh.
But then I moved back here, and then it was open.
Wow.
Look, we got to get
theoretically, if you move back to Queensland, you have an open license.
yeah.
That's right.
That'll work.
Exactly.
Cool.
The hustle.
That hustle,
True hustle.
He's all about that hustle. Alan's all about that hustle. We're going to get to our first break of the night. We're going to go to a song that we've been, a lady who's been playing all month here on CarTorque. It is on the album Lover by George Maple. The song's called Everybody Here Wants You. We'll be right back after this. You're back on CarTorque with Matty J. That was the lovely George Maple with Everybody Here Wants You. Now, Sean, obviously first time on this show.
Yep.
Long time listener.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much. Well, we've known each other for a few years now.
Yeah.
Your car history. You've had 2 cars that I've remembered.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had a was a 323 Estina.
Yeah,
SP.
Yeah.
Well, that was with the 1.8
1.8 BP.
BP. Yeah.
Yeah.
NA engine, obviously.
VHC, yeah.
Yep. And it was a B.
No, it's just the one car and then the Suzuki Swift Sport.
And the Suzuki Swift Sport, yeah. So yours is the first Swift, so it's got the 1.6, correct?
Yeah, 1.6. So Sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How have you been finding the car?
Yeah, I wanted to find something similar to my old car and something a bit modern, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I thought, maybe it'd be cool to like just get something similar for now. And
because I know you wanted a Supra, and like
I do want one. I still want one. It hasn't changed. So, yeah.
I know you, the big man Riz right here wants a Supra.
Yeah,
because of 2J life.
That's right, 2JZ.
No SH1T. And
have you guys seen the photo of the 2JZs?
Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah. Got that, and Grasser was always wanted a Supra. So
yeah.
But yeah, they are quite pricey these days.
Yeah, they're getting pricey now. Yeah.
So, I mean, I was looking at prices in the States, and they're like $100,000.
Yeah. Well, you can get ones under that too, but then NA and
NA,
turbo.
Yeah. So that I mean, that kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
Of the big Supra. But anyway, we'll move on. Big news from this week in car news is Koeningsegg. I know.
Sweet.
I know Riz has placed his order for his Agera R.
Yeah, it's they reckon it's coming.
Well, so it's not going to get approved for sale here in Australia. But in the meantime, I'm going to be picking up a Pagani Huayra. I think
yes.
that's what the kids
Why
call it these
not?
days.
Because they got approved as well. Oh, sorry, they're coming as well.
Yeah. So and that would be a good discussion for one of our Sunday kickbacks.
Yeah. So what would you rather?
You know, because they're in that kind of hypercar league.
Yeah.
At least with the prices.
I reckon Alan had these discussions behind that door that said Nismo officials only.
Yes.
I reckon that's where it all goes down.
The door there where they're like, no, we don't just work with your company anymore. Please go away."
But I can't believe, just on a side note, that was in Brayside, right?
Yes, it was.
What's in Brayside?
Factories.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I mean. Like, I know that area very well, but why there?
I have no idea. I guess that's when Nismo wants to. Koeningsegg and stuff. That's where they're going, right? Or
Koenigsegg's going to Lorbeck Luxury Cars,
Okay.
I heard
which
that,
is in
yeah.
Port Melbourne,
Yeah.
which is good, I guess, being near the port so your car doesn't get lost on the way.
And the other thing is the only people that can afford those cars are probably the people that work on the wharfs and at the port as well, because they've
yes.
got the unionized wage,
they
250 grand a year.
that union backing.
That's it. Operate a small crane.
Oh, even with the 250k a year, like Koenigsegg is going to be hard.
Well, then all the other.
It's
union
2.3
money.
million US, right?
Somewhere along those lines.
So in Australia with taxes, you're probably looking at 5 mil,
That's all right. I'll get my checkbook.
Cool, $5 million.
and then you'd be looking at something similar for the Huayra.
Yeah. Nah,
It'd be a little bit
it'd be
less.
cheaper.
Because I know it's 800,000 pounds. Should be what 1.6 Australian or 1.3 Australian.
But everything in Australia gets inflated double,
Yeah.
so you'd be looking at probably like a $2 million car.
Yeah. Well, then you got to factor in the LCT as well.
Yes.
Yes, they're 30%.
It's better than other countries, though, in Australia, though, so...
Well, I mean, we're not having a competition with Singapore here to buy a car because
Oh, no. Or Malaysia.
what is it, $90,000 for a Toyota Corolla?
Corolla.
Yeah.
40,000 for a Swift, too.
But that being said, we travel far longer distances than they do in Singapore.
True.
You know, we can't reach the other side.
So
of
you
the
reckon
country?
Lynn Fox is buying one? He seems to buy anything that comes
mean,
into this country.
You'd think so. But does he have an LFA? I think he might have an LFA.
Well, obviously we know he's got the Mercedes project, whatever that's
Yeah, yeah.
called. I don't know what his museum's at Essendon, right?
No, in the city, in Port Melbourne actually.
In Port Melbourne.
I believe.
Is it open to public?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Yeah?
You pay a small fee. I think
I reckon we should go.
we should definitely go because
But I'm not paying the fee, so go when it's closed. And we'll leave with the car.
We'll live in the That's
Not
the
condoning illegal activity.
have you guys ever seen the original? Oh, sorry, not the original. The remake of Gone in 60 Seconds.
Which
When they-
one? The second one?
The second one. Well, the remake
With Nicolas Cage,
Nicolas Cage,
Eleanor.
Eleanor. Well, dude, I've got
It had a Toyota Supra in it. Like
did?
in the
on the wall.
list, yeah.
On the sorry, one of my students. You just reminded me. He keeps saying, for example, "Blessed be the Church of Nicolas Cage." I'm like, what are you talking about?
Nicolas Cage is quite the meme god.
Yeah, well, that's why he's been coming up a lot, and just the thing as we mentioned, Gone in 60 Seconds. That's come up, but the scene where they break into the Ferrari compound and they say hello, ladies. I think Angelina Jolie's character says
That's
that.
true. Yeah.
They it'll be kind of like us like breaking into. Not that we're going to do that, but
I never said breaking in or stealing. I just said I was going to drive out of there with a car. That's all I said. And I
God.
said I wasn't paying for entry. You know, that's nothing illegal there.
so you got to drive your WRX in and then drive it out, and you've technically driven out with a car.
Could be a Ferrari. I drive out there.
Ah, we
Sounds
see.
a bit like the movie Take Me Home Tonight, where the guy nicks the car from the dealership, sort of thing.
I haven't seen that movie.
Haven't you seen it?
No.
Oh, okay, all right.
But yeah, okay, we'll do the what would you rather then, seeing as they're two big big important cars that are coming. What would you take, the Koenigsegg or the Huayra?
Koeningsegg. I would.
Why?
Which Koenigsegg model are we talking?
Well, okay, if he's bringing, let's say the Agera.
Regera or Agera?
Agera.
Agera.
I'll go Regera if I could. They're a cool car.
Kids these days with electric cars.
They're really
hybrids
cool.
and stuff. No.
They're really cool.
They are cool.
In my opinion, yeah. Anyway.
Everything I've seen of Koenigsegg, like, you absolutely kind of fall in love with the company. And just Christian von Koenigsegg's kind of, mission to just make wonderful cars and everything else.
He's that dude, yeah.
Yeah, and he's, really into his company. He's not about, I'm a posh man with, I'm a CEO. He's not kind of that kind of guy. But the Huayra,
Yeah.
that is very sensual car.
It is.
You cannot, like, you can just sit at home looking at that car all day and just, that'll be your life.
It's a work of art in a weird sort of way.
You just taking those wonderful, side mirrors that are, further down the side and just looking at all the, aero kit and just listening to that sound with the induction noise, the turbocharged, all the whistling that's going on.
Is Horatio Pagani Brazilian or Italian? I'm not sure.
Pagani was Italian.
It's Italian.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I thought he was from Brazil, though.
I thought he was from South America. South American born.
Probably.
Sorry.
But I know the company's
company's based in Italy.
Yeah, it's based in Italy, yeah. But his background, so...
Yes, some kind of South American, because I think the Wire as well, it comes from the name of a wind god.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Wow.
In South America.
I remember the first time I saw a Pagani, and it was the Zonda. I was just intrigued and amazed by all the handmade parts and all the intricate pieces that are on it. And I
love
see
the Zonda. They're cool cars.
And I could see why they were so expensive at the time. And one, they looked like a kid would draw it because they looked awesome. But two, just like the engineering that went into it was pretty out there for its time. Considering most supercars at the time were still trying to be like a mix between luxury and performance. These were just like a performance car, but they kind of showed the bare bones. Like you could see where the shifter mechanisms were working in the Pagani, which blew me away. I was like as a kid, I'm like, holy crap, this is awesome.
Cool, yeah.
I remember listening to Richard Hammond, I think it was, on Top Gear, and he had the Zonda F Roadster.
Yeah,
and I played that on like repeat so many times.
Yeah.
Like so many times. I love that video.
Yeah, they definitely know what they're doing there. But, yeah, really, really, really cool car. I would take. I take the Zonda. I take. I don't know. That's hard. Yeah,
He's fence sitting.
I am fence sitting. I can't pick tonight.
Let that be known. Matty J is fence sitting.
Okay, all right. If I have to pick one, because you know the rules, and I know the rules. If I have to pick one,
It'll have to be a Maybach.
Yes. It'll be Maybach music all day, every day. Speaking of, I've got to listen to that song that you tagged me. I would take the Huayra because I reckon it looks cooler, and just for that reason only, and for the fact that the craftsmanship on the Koeningsegg is great as well, but just I guess that I've got that bit more of an affinity with Pagani, and I'm not going to. Well, let's be honest, I'm never going to buy each one of these cars, but.
If you could.
If I could, I'd be fine.
If we dealt enough white powders.
Sugar.
There is
for those people out there, sugar. Cool. But yeah, definitely that car. Anyway, back to reality, I guess, for me. My Merc story for the weekend. Now, I was meant to go see Deadpool with you on Saturday night, and I messaged you, it was about 8:45 when I couldn't make it.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you the story why that happened. I got to my mum's because I had to pick up something, and I was like, I'll take the Merc for a spin because my sister was using the Merc, and she left it at my mum's place. So I hopped in there and started fine, drove it. I got got to the end of the street and started running a bit rough. I'm like, it's a bit odd. So I planted it and drove all right. And as soon as I got to a roundabout, it decided to die.
Oh.
Whoa.
So I kind of just the power steering locked up, obviously. So here I am, full muscling it into this car park. Anyway, I'm sitting there, and I'm like, this is not going well. So I'm trying to start it, crank, nothing. It's like it's going to kick and it just dies. I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going on. I reckon it has to be a fuel pump issue. So I'm sitting there, and after about 10 minutes, I call my mom, I'm like, yeah, this thing's not going anywhere. She's like, okay, well, I might have to call the RACV. I'm like, yeah, I'll have to give him a call. Anyway, there's a guy a few spots away from me, and he comes up to me and he's like, are you the guy? And I'm like, what guy?
You were part of a drug deal at this point.
I mean, dude, I'm in an old Mercedes. At this point, I'm looking like a real dodgy guy. I don't know what I'm like, nah, dude, my car's just broken down. And I'm like, I showed him the crank. I was scared at this point. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die tonight. I don't know what the hell I've got myself into.
And here we were talking about selling miscellaneous white powders.
Exactly. He was in one. He was in a deal.
And then it was awkward because then we looked at each other. We're just like, okay, we're not here for the same thing. He's like, oh, okay then. So he went back to his car, and I'm just like, by this point, it's half an hour's gone past, and it's like 7:30, and I'm like, yeah, I am legit scared. Mate.
Fair enough.
So the RSCV guy comes about 45 minutes later, tries to start it, hits the fuel pump, hits some of the fuel underneath, tries putting some fuel down the throttle body, nothing, dead. And I'm like, what the hell? And he's like, yeah, he reckons it's a fuel pump issue. So he's like, well, I can't help you. I'm like, yeah. So what does this mean for me? He's like, well, you're gonna have to get towed. See you later. He organised me a tow and drove off.
Oh God.
Meanwhile, I'm freezing because Saturday night was cold.
Yeah.
I'm freezing. I'm in a car park. There's a guy that's thought I was another guy. I don't know what he wanted. I'm scared. I'm texting him because I really wanted to watch Deadpool. My phone's dead at this point because I had like 10%. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna drive it up the road and come back, and I left my charger in the laser because that's the car I drove. And I'm like, okay, this is not exactly working for me tonight. They come. My mum comes because after she's like, well, where the hell have you been? Gets towed back to my place, and by this time it's like 10 o'clock.
Oh, no.
And I've missed the movie. 2, the Merc died. 3, I'm being accused of being a guy, which I didn't want to ask any more questions. 4, I let Alan down, and 5, my car's getting towed to the mechanics tomorrow.
Oh, God.
So this has been my lovely weekend with the Merc, I should say. So I'm sorry, Alan, for not being able to make it on Saturday.
Well, I'm more disappointed in you not proceeding further with this deal, this gentleman.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With this offer that was presented to you, but you could have been driving.
Maybe you just want to buy some baking soda. You sell some baking soda. You made a couple $100 and you're on your way. And...
Oh, well, there's a couple of hundred on it. I was going to say,
awkward.
you might not have needed to send the Merc out to a mechanics. You could have been sitting in an SLS GT or AMG or something today. But,
But he would have to sell the Merc.
Huh?
He would have had to sell the Merc.
No, forget about that. So if the deal would have gone through,
dumped it there. I would have just walked.
Exactly. If we would have listened to the wisdom,
the real hustler here.
the wisdom from the real hustler that has been educating us, sensei, as we call him.
Yes.
So, see, the key is not to implicate yourself. So, you're already down on your luck. Your car's dead, yeah? What else are you going to do? It's like, are you the guy? You say, I am a guy.
I do have a Merc.
Dude, yeah, I fit the stereotype well because I was in like it's late at night. I am of a descent that's
not Anglo-Saxon.
Anglo-Saxon.
You're pretty Anglo-Saxon looking, though.
I'm a half, yeah. Like I'm a fake of that. But anyway, I had a full black jacket on. I had black gloves on because I was cold. I looked shady as hell. Like I looked shady.
Black leather gloves or
no, just black like the gloves I was wearing tonight.
Yeah, okay.
Cool. just some black cotton gloves.
Yeah.
I looked shady as all hell. And I'm like, no wonder why you came and asked if I was the guy. I'm like, by all means, this is on me. This is my fault right about now. But yeah, this is my night. Anyway, I get back to my mum's and I hop in with the tow truck driver. He was a really lovely guy, and we get back. He's like, oh, you didn't go far at all, did you? I'm like, no, you got like not even a block away.
And you didn't push your car back home?
Dude,
Poor effort. Poor effort. I'm just,
you
got.
So sorry, the guys in the northern suburbs. Now
you know what I'm talking about.
I know. When he said 7:45, he was freaking out. I'm like, geez, I'd be freaking out at 5 o'clock.
Well, they have a set criteria, so they got to
see
that, I guess. So.
That's the issue because I can tell from what you're saying, you haven't sat in your car in a parking lot in the northern suburbs eating a kebab at like 1 a.m. Because I have.
I've done that, but I haven't had people come up to my car and ask me if I was that guy.
I had people come up and ask me if what I was doing. They turned out to be undercover cops. And I explained to them,
this is a story we need to hear.
Oh no, well, it's a relatively quick and easy story. I was just in a parking lot eating myself a nice halal snack pack and finishing off a drink. And I was about done. This was a post gym sesh, mind you.
Post gym, getting those carbs.
Yeah, getting those carbs and protein.
But in the Rex.
In the Rex.
Okay, that's good.
And essentially, I get ready to leave, and I see a black Commodore pull up, and I just say, okay, well, he's probably here to do some other business. I'll be on my way. Start up my car. I get high beamed by the car, and then two of them step out. What I don't notice is they end up putting their lights on. They were just like interior lights. This is a completely unmarked car, and they're in casual clothes as well.
Yeah.
So they're just like we're with the I think it was the Faulkner Highway Patrol or something. Faulkner Police Department.
Jeez, yeah.
And they're just like, what are you doing here? I was like, well, is there a problem, Ossifer? No, I was generally polite. I just said, well, I'm just finishing
Eating a kebab. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
I was like, this is my neighborhood. I'm not doing anything illegal. And they were just like, it's just weird to see somebody parked out here at this time of night. And I was like, well, yes. But then I gave them a very valid reason that if I took the kebab home, or the snack pack home, my parents would then chastise me for eating bad food, and they actually laughed at me, and then it's like that's a very acceptable reason. They took my license, just gave it back, and we're on their way.
Jeez, we're talking about cars and food stories. I've got an interesting one. It's probably a bit longer than Alan's, but anyway.
We'll have to get to that after this break. We'll be right back after this with more food and car stories on here on CarTorque. We'll be right back. You're back on CarTorque with Matty J. Riz, now, you've got an interesting story you've been telling us.
Yeah, now this story, not many people have heard of. The only people that know about it are the people that were involved in it.
Okay.
It's me and my brother. Now, me and my brother, we've had a tradition for many, many years. Saturday night, dinner is at the Colonel. KFC, every Saturday night. After work, when we were working at Pizza Hut, after work, midnight, whatever.
You didn't get pizza?
Nah, always at KFC. Anyway. That's how much we respect the Colonel.
The Colonel, mate.
The Colonel.
Big ups to the Colonel. Big ups
exactly, to the Colonel. Exactly. So, I remember a couple of years ago when I was still working in Queensland, I came back for a visit, and we went traditionally go to the KFC at about 11:30, 12 o'clock. The best thing about KFC in Springvale is Princess Highway, and everybody's doing printy laps.
Oh, printy laps, yeah.
So, exactly.
Yeah.
So you'd get the KFC, and then you'd sit there, but on this particular night, it was raining. So we're like, screw it, we'll just go to the beach road, like we normally would after we had the KFC. We'd go to the beach road, drive around, and then pull up somewhere and eat it there. Yeah. So we did, and it was pissing down rain. There's a cop car that pulls up next to us. So we're in his old school Astra, I think it was AH?
Oh, yeah.
AH Astra. And it's raining outside, so we're eating, good KFC inside, and it's fogging up.
Yeah.
Now,
I can see where this is going.
Now, the cops pull up next to us, and we're like one of those car parks, the car parks along Beach Road, and we're facing the water, and the car's fogging up, right? And anyway, the cops pull up, and my brother, like, he's paranoid as
hell.
Yeah, as hell about the whole situation. He's like, oh, Riz, you say something now, I'm going to kill you. Because he's the one sitting in the driver's seat, and he hates dealing with cops. Yeah. Anyway, so they come over, and my brother's like, don't you dare get out of the car. What's the first thing I do? I get out of the car. And then they look at me, they're like, mate, what are you doing here? And I'm like,
eating some KFC.
And he's like, why are the windows fogged up? And I'm like, eating KFC. It's like, it's condensation, it's hot. And then they're like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, do you want a Zinger burger?
Were your pants down at the time? Is that why he's asking?
I can't comment on those details.
Man gets hot and bothered eating KFC, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So I pulled out a Zinger burger. I'm like, do you want one?
Do you legit offer him a Zinger burger?
Yeah. Because I had to show him that I was all legit. And I'm like, because I go back inside, I grab one. I'm like, do you want a Zinger burger? So the guy was with the lady cop. And they look at each other and they're like, what the hell? Why did we pull over?
Yeah.
Anyway. And then I said, look, we're just eating KFC. It's raining outside. Obviously, thermodynamics, you get fogging up, It's
fair point.
Anyway.
The big uni studio,
And then they're like, right, so you're not causing any trouble here? I'm like, we're in Bayside suburbs. Average house price is $2 million. If we were causing any trouble, we'll be robbing them, not sitting here eating KFC in a fogged up Astra AH.
See, as you said, they're Bayside suburbs, man. $2 million a house. That is causing trouble, eating KFC. Just outside.
Like,
you're loitering.
Loitering, yeah.
You know,
Loitering to KFC.
Two real brothers can't have KFC in a car.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Jeez. Anyway, so that's cars and food.
Cars,
Alan, you're not alone, man. You're not alone.
Been profiled for, you know.
Sit again with the profile.
A man's trying to eat in this car. They come and knock at the door, treat him like a criminal.
Oh, dude. Well, yeah. I got nothing to say to that.
Just because that parking lot's been known for drug deals and other, you know, nefarious behaviour does not mean I am partaking.
You were dealing yourself a HSP.
I was.
Exactly.
So you got
There's no bigger crime than that.
No, I mean that's
There's nothing wrong
that's a
with
jailable
HSP.
offence. Good old halal snack pack. I can't get over that. You offered him a zinger burger.
Well, I had to show proof, man.
Oh, jeez.
See, all I had was like an empty styrofoam container.
It's like, what was in that?
I'm sure the car like reeked of garlic sauce and kebabs, so they probably got the whiff.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
Oh, man, that's funny. Dude, that's. I can't help it. I can't help it.
Well, I'm sure there's plenty
You know
of
what's
people.
funny, Matt? It's because you've never been profiled for eating in your car.
Dude, every time I go to the airport, yeah, and I've been with Julian and I've been with Tyrone. Now, Tyrone, as we know, is of Indian descent, and
Is he?
yes,
I always thought he was from Jamaica. You heard it here first.
you heard it here first, live on CarTorque. And it's Julian's obviously straight Italian, classic white guy.
Classic one.
Now, every time we go in there, now look, I'm a bit of a, I'm not, I'm a bit ashamed to say we are big wrestling fans, and we went to see the wrestlers when they've come off the plane. We fangirled pretty hard, not gonna lie. Every time you went there, without fail, it was me that was picked on to remove my belt for the
Random checks.
Oh
check.
yeah, the random checks. I get those all the time.
Every single time, and like I was even like to Julian Turner. I'm like, watch this. I'm about to be checked. Sure enough, I even went on the side of Julian. Like, I was next to the white guy. I still get picked on, and I don't know if it was the beard. I don't know what it was, but it's So I've been there, guys. I can relate. I feel these.
I feel this.
I feel these.
You don't get to feel me until you've done the explosive residue swab twice in one day.
What?
Really?
That's what you get for a day trip,
Oh.
interstate day trip. So I did it the morning when I left Melbourne, and then on the way back from Adelaide, the gentleman's like, "You've been randomly selected."
Have you?
For explosive residue test, and he's like, "You've done this before?" I was like, "Yes, just this morning," and he laughed because he knew it wasn't random.
Oh man, that says it all, doesn't it, fellas?
Brothers can't have
It's
KFC.
kind of goes.
My main man, the
Not
true
fly.
husler, can't have a HSP.
What
It's
kind of explosive residue on my hands? Like,
and-
I'm not doing anything wrong.
And we all know Matt is the guy.
oh man, I am the guy. I am the guy. But yeah,
We do occasionally talk about car-related things.
we do, but we do like to break off into a bit of a tangent on the odd occasion. Now, I've been thinking really hard for my next car, for my next daily. Now, theoretically, I know I'm not going to be able to afford Focus RS at this point, and I wouldn't be putting myself under that financial burden. That'll come one day, just like the Maybach. He knows that hustle.
You could get a restored one, like a write-off, and then like
It wouldn't be the same
repair
though.
it. Okay.
It's, especially with a car with that technical. I really wouldn't want a probably salvage titled
Yeah,
car.
okay, fair enough. Salvage title, yeah.
Yeah, especially if it's like in drift mode,
Yeah.
99% of its life.
Yeah, true.
drift mode into a barrier. But I kind of got G'd up looking at when we were there at Custom Cars and Coffee. There was a really nice blue Fiesta ST, and it kind of really G'd me up because I really love Fiesta STs. I reckon they're a great car.
Mate's got one of those.
Yeah, good cars.
Yeah, they're cool.
I've driven one. Can't fault them. Motoring enthusiasts and motoring journalists absolutely love them. They rate them as one of the best hot hatchbacks of all time for any money you can buy. Now the new one's just been released. It's coming to Australia late in the year or early next year, and it's coming with a 3-cylinder. But the one I'm looking at is the one that's currently for sale at the moment with the 4-cylinder. I think they might have stopped selling it now because the new one's just been released. Second hand, you can pick them up for about $13,000, which is a real
That's a decent price.
What is it at 2012, 13?
13, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2012, 13.
That's a good price.
So what do
with
we
like 60,000 Ks on it.
what do we know about their engine?
They're quite reliable. They're the EcoBoost 1.6
Yeah.
turbo. They only came in the Fiesta ST.
And what's the power output?
157.
That's pretty good.
On overboost though, they're like about 130 normally.
So then,
Still good.
Polo GDI,
Yes,
what are they?
around the same.
Same, yeah.
They don't have as much power as a Peugeot 208 or the Renault Clio RS. But the Clio RS has got the worst DSG gearbox of all time, and they only come as the DSG. Sorry, as a dual clutch, because DSG is a VW term. And the Peugeot, it's a Peugeot, and I don't really want to buy a Peugeot.
I like the clear colour on the old school one.
Yeah,
Like
the
2011, 2012.
the yellows.
Yeah, the yellow is like I don't know what colour it was, but it's like this like pearly sort of yellow.
Yeah,
I really love that. Like,
I mean it's the same yellow they've got on the later Clios.
yeah.
And the Clio Cups, but the dual clutch in them is just trash apparently. And I was watching a review on Top Gear with Richard Hammond. He test drove all three.
Yeah.
And he's like the Fiesta for handling it for pure fun.
Yeah.
And that's what I want. I want a really another.
Yeah,
I
you
want a fun car. It blew him out of the water. So, I mean, I love my Laser. It's been the best car I've ever had.
Yeah.
It's done almost 280,000 kilometers now. So I'm thinking next year, possibly after my wedding and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, just in theoretically, if I've still got my job in Werribee, you know, I'd love to have the luxury that cruise control is, which I don't have at the moment in the Laser.
I know what that was like.
We've been there, but you know, I'm just like this is not 100% yet, but I'm thinking, I mean, what else could I get for that fun factor? And I really want a car that's got that bit of fun factor.
It's
What about Suzuki Swift Sport Turbo?
The new ones.
New ones.
I don't want to spend anything more than like 15 grand. And
that
that's,
would be too
fair
much.
enough,
that's
fair
too much.
enough.
I really want to spend between 10 to 13 max, and you can get one with about 60,000 Ks.
In manual?
They only come manual Fiesta STs.
Yeah, so that's not bad.
I mean, they come with Recaros. They come with one of the best chassis that money can buy. Like they come kitted, yeah. Like
That's pretty good then. If you get a lot, if you get that kit for 13 grand, obviously you got to find one with one owner and only driven on Sundays and by a lady
to charge
driver.
on Sundays,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What about a Picanto GT line?
I don't know. I mean, they're pretty cheap.
They are, but given
What's the power output?
it's
But-
terrible.
yeah,
It's like
they've got no
66
power.
kilowatts,
But they're fun.
but they're also only like 976
Yeah,
kilograms.
they're lighters. Yeah.
So, still not you're not competing with a Polo GTR or anything like that. But given the price point and everything else, they could be a fun little car.
They could be a fun little car.
And I think that's
right?
And they're brand new, 7 years warranty as well.
yeah. They're very much on that kind of, if you're a P-plater and you're actually genuinely looking for a fun car, that's kind of like the point where you don't need to worry about kind of turbocharging issues or anything
Yeah.
like that. A great little car to kind of have.
Having said that, one of the ladies at work just bought one brand new last year.
Oh.
Her and her partner bought. She bought the Picanto and he bought the Kia Rio. I've been in both of them. They're quite nice, but the Picanto is really, really roomy inside. It's quite big, even though it's like really, really tiny. Like it's a small car.
Yeah.
So she reckons it's a really fun, really kind of like little fun, econom box to drive. But
yeah.
I don't know if I could see myself in a Picanto though.
Okay, I've got another one here.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Dude, they are so cheap.
What do you reckon?
I completely forgot about
Have a
them.
look.
Ooh,
What do you
That is a
reckon?
good option.
C apostrophe D.
Yes,
What do you reckon? I reckon
they were very underrated. They were a good car.
they were a good car.
So the one we're looking at now, Riz, tell the people what we're looking at.
We are looking at a Kia Proceed GT in manual.
It was Korea's first hot hatch,
Yeah.
but even though people consider it a warm hatch, I can still consider it a hot hatch because
Yeah.
it was still it got the full turbo engine. How much kilos did it?
150.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that's.
Would that be the same engine as the Velociter?
Or it might be actually
'Cause that's-
it's the 1.6, right?
Yeah.
Because I
this
believe
one's-
they put out 150
Yeah,
kilowatts.
I
as
believe.
well.
I
yeah,
believe
this is 150
it
as
should
well.
be the same.
So I reckon something. I mean, it'll be a bit over your budget. This is the cheapest one they've got at the moment.
How many K's is that done?
This one's done 60,000.
It's not bad.
Man.
So yeah, I reckon, man. Like, I mean, this one's in WA as well. So 65,000.
But you know, they're good. They were a good car. Motoring journalists actually really, really liked them. They reckon they were like for the price point, they were bang on the money. As engaging as a Fiesta ST though, I don't.
But they look like, they look really cool. I mean, there's not many. But are they the same sort of size? Well, no, they're not the same size.
They're a bit bigger. They're more of a like in between a Focus and like a Veloster size. I think they're like I put up next to a white one a few months ago, and I'm like, yeah, they're kind of cool.
But having said that, if you buy one of these, you probably still have about 3-year warranty on them.
Exactly right.
Because I think 2014 was when Kia introduced the 7-year warranty.
Yeah.
Whoa, nice warranty.
So yeah, so you'd be getting that I guess that good warranty.
Well, there's one here with 35,000 Ks in manual for 16,500.
How much were they new? They were about 35.
Yeah,
weren't
they were about that much. And this, for its age, it still doesn't look too bad.
No, they're a good looking car. I reckon they've aged well. They've aged better than the Fiesta has, but in terms of aftermarket support and stuff, because this is a car I actually want to have a bit of a play with, because I know mount and stuff to do everything for.
Yeah, Fiesta obviously you're gonna get a whole lot more. Yeah,
especially from mounting from the UK, and it's all factory backed as well. So so mounting like forward back mounting parts, and even if
before you do buy one, just check the price of the clutch.
Yes, yeah, I've learned my lesson after the F6. Put it that way. Look, this is nothing's in stone yet. I was just having a think. I'm like, because you know the laser's getting to that stage.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at a car that's going to last me another 10 years. Because I would have had my laser by then 9 years. So, you know,
like a run around sort of vehicle.
Yeah, I mean, a fun daily. And I don't want anything that's too. I mean, at that price point, it's not. I'm going to lose over 10 years, 10 grand. It's not like I'm losing 50 grand. It's not like I'm dropping a crap load of money.
Exactly.
And the reason why I got the F6 as well, I haven't lost any money on it because they've held their value. Yeah. So that doesn't bother me. What bothers me is that you know, reliability. From what I've heard, they're okay, but when they've been tuned the wrong way, they've been. I don't want one that's played with. I want a factory standard.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Look, we've got to get to our last break, and we'll come back right after this. You're back on CarTorque with Matty J. We are pretty much out of time for time. We've only got a few minutes to go for the show. Any last car-related news, guys, that we wanted to cover?
I went into a dealership today.
Ah, yes, we're going to talk about this. Yeah.
And it's the first one I've ever seen where they've actually got an ANCAP crash-tested car sitting in the dealership.
Yeah.
Now, how I know, I connected to the guy that CEO of ANCAP, and he said they delivered one to that dealership, and I'm like, geez, that's around the corner in Mulgrave. I'll go check it out.
Nice.
Crashed at 60 Ks, and the car's pretty much intact.
That's
60 Ks into a wall.
CX-5, right?
CX-5, 5-star. Into a wall, and it's only got the driver's side airbag that's come out.
Yep.
Which is pretty, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
You know?
Better.
It's, and
It looks like it's fared well. Like the whole safety structure, like the whole structure of the inside is pretty good.
And there's like only one real issue, which was on this side here, where you've got the driver's side, but the door still opens.
Oh, that's good.
And it's
incredible.
It's quite good at what cars are
capable of
in terms of safety now, right? So it makes you wonder, I guess, if you do buy cars from a couple of years ago, what would happen in a crash?
And that's the thing with the Fiesta. It's tiny as hell.
Yeah, but they've got
a good safety.
They're engineered well.
Yeah, I mean, I was listening to an engineer talk, and he pretty much said that cars are as safe as they're ever going to be. Essentially now, they've gotten to that point.
Yeah, that's cool.
But it does make you worry just a little bit in thinking that yes, if cars are as we just saw in this image, a car that crashed into a wall at 60 k's looks perfectly fine.
Yeah,
are people going to just take more risks on the road because they know they'll be fine in a crash? And if they are, what about the people driving crappy cars? What about the people driving cars like, for example, my WRX was from 2003.
Yeah,
I can't expect it to behave the same way if I was to hit something, at 60 k's an hour.
Exactly right.
So, am I in danger on the roads now?
I don't think that's the case. I mean, no one wants to have an accident unless they're trying to be an idiot or be deliberate.
I don't know. That the last accident I was in,
yeah,
that people claim.
Yeah.
They didn't see a car that was just parked in the middle of the road.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But I reckon, look, you can look at it both ways. I mean, I remember now, one of the cars I was driving was the Daihatsu Sirion.
Probably the worst safety record ever.
Exactly. So anyway, but we made it past that stage.
My first car didn't have ABS, didn't have airbags, didn't have anything. It was a 92 laser, and it was legit like it was a tin can. And I said to myself, I'm like, if I was to be in an accident, I would die.
Yeah, I had an 89 laser as well once upon a time.
Laser for the boys.
Exactly. It was
I had a 94.
cool.
Athena, I guess. So similar
thing.
Similar thing. Yeah.
The best thing I remember out of that car is the manual transmission. How smoothly it shifted.
Plonks in together real easy. They're all a good car. The old Laser. I mean, they still are in a lot of ways. But would I, if I was to have kids now, and my kids was just to drive in, let's say, the next 20 years, I wouldn't. I'd make sure that if I was to buy them a car, it'd have like a 5-star safety rating
or above.
Or above if it's at that stage. I mean,
Teslas.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but like you've got that option, but like you've also got. I mean, by that time, Teslas and stuff will be cheap. But like at the time, a $1,500 car was a $500 car was the only car I could afford when I got my license.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, if we're looking, when buying a car now for like P-platers, you can get really good safety wise cars for under 10 grand.
Yeah,
under
easily.
$5,000.
Yeah.
It's amazing the technology that's changed in the past 10 years since I had my license. Yeah,
exactly.
Well, I saw a 2011 Corolla with about nearly 200,000 Ks in sedan for just over 5. Like that's 5-6-year-old car, right? Yeah, I guess the key is to get the newest possible car for your budget. If you can do that, that's all. Yeah.
Well, look.
But that means that a lot of people that are car enthusiasts, we're looking to get the fastest possible car for the budget.
Oh, look, dude, I can
why not?
I completely understand and I completely agree. But I mean, it's hard. Like I've got a car that doesn't have an airbag. The old Merc. It's got ABS, but the ABS was like whoa for the time. But having said that, it's if that in a crash, it wouldn't be good. Would I? I mean, I have it because I've driven it and I enjoy it. And it's like same thing with
yeah.
It's hard to kind of classify classic cars because classic cars are kind of like you take them out every so often. Like they're they're not going to have the safety features and stuff as newer cars have. But if I was to buy a newer car, like a Fiesta or something like that, I know it's got a good safety record, got tons of airbags and is quite safe.
Yeah.
I'd be a bit more comfortable.
And things have changed from safety perspective from like the 70s and 80s and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
now.
I mean
in a way that you know what I mean, like sort of safety of vehicles.
Yeah, like it's like you got pretensioners, you've got EBD,
ABS, ESP, EBD. Yeah. You name it, and they've got all this technology in there. As long as it's got standard airbags as well as some side airbags, which I think the Fiesta does have side.
I believe off the top of my head it does.
Curtains. So look. That's just the way times are progress. If you can't afford a car more than $1,000, then you're not going to buy one, right? So.
Yeah.
Just try to buy the most safest car you can for the money.
100%.
Or pro tip, once again, I'm always about that life advice.
You are.
Don't crash.
It's not about, as my dad said to me, it's not about what you do. It's about what everybody else does on the road. So be safe out there. Look after each other. We are out of time tonight on CarTorque. I'll give Dr. Rock a quick plug for his show on Monday night for your pleasure, and his show on Thursday night with mate Fitzy for the Thursday night waffle. Like and share our Facebook page, CarTorque, TORQUE with Matty J. If you've missed any of our previous podcasts, they're all up on there on Shout Engine or iTunes or wherever you get your podcasting app. So please subscribe, rate, and review. Get us higher in the rankings. Let us know what you think. Send us a message. Be more than happy to talk with you. Riz?
Car Loop, anybody looking for free car advice or needs help with buying and don't want to deal with dealers, get in touch with us. Facebook.com/carloopau.
Free advice, Riz is the man. He knows what he's doing. Alan, any last words of wisdom as you normally give at the end of the show?
If you're gonna eat food in your car on a cold day, try and keep the aircon on so you don't fog it up and get the police suspicious.
Words to live by.
Exactly.
Words to live by. Thank you, Sean, for coming on the show.
Not a problem.
I hope you've had a good time.
Yeah, I have. Fantastic.
You got anything you want to say before we head off?
No, not for now.
Not for now. All good. James' shows before mine at 6 p.m. on a Tuesday night for Man vs Movies. We're here every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. for CarTorque with Matty J. Also, keep an eye out for our Sunday kickbacks, which we talk a lot more crap and do some Would You Rather. So keep an eye on our Facebook page. We've got some more content coming your way, and the website's on its way. So this has been CarTorque with Matty J. Thanks again for tuning in. Thanks guys for coming in.
It's always a pleasure.
Problem.
Thank you.
No
I'll see you next week. Take it easy.
This is professional radio, gentlemen.
And it's front wheel drive.
Scotty, have you got anyone you want to thank?
Just myself. And now we do the after hours. Dun, dun, dun.
Gentlemen, what would you go for?
Dacia Sandero.
Okay, and because it's not a supercar.
But it is.
It's not.
Automotive perfection comes in the form of two letters, A and U.
Long live my LTD.